What's up, everybody? I'm Detroit Lenny with Picks and Parlays. That's Allie Burns over there. She's going to write some stuff on a whiteboard. We're going to go over Circa lines. She's a busy camper, so I'm going to intro a little bit of stuff. Don't forget to hit the like button, ring the bell, subscribe, do the things that you're supposed to do today. Do them. Right. Do them. Get some accurate. Won't have no trouble. Won't have no trouble. No trouble if you do that. Got to remind everybody about Caesar Sportsbook. If you haven't already known, if you've been living under a rock, you just got back to planet Earth, whatever the case may be. If you're betting sports, you need to be doing it with Caesar Sportsbook. You can wager up to $1,250 on your first bet when you sign up with them. If you don't win, don't worry. You'll get 100% of your stake back as a free bet. And win or lose, you'll get $1,000 reward credit points and 1,000 tier credit points. That's where you get those free rooms, free meals, free drinks, all that other stuff. Everything but free money.
Spa day.
It's what? Yeah, spa day. Get your nails, get your hair did, everything did. And you follow the link in the description of the video. It'll take you right to your state-specific site. Or you can download the app. Just use the promo code WOODFULL. Like you're full of wood. Most of you are full of shit. But this is WOODFULL. Don't forget to use that promo code, though. That's the most important thing. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for notification. We got all kinds of people still in the last Woody standing. Two still from last week in that rollover. Foxy and Silky Man won't roll over and just die. So they won't do it. And then we have 7 from this week still in. J-Rock and Sean Austin, I didn't get a pick from you yesterday, and I didn't see it on Facebook or I didn't see it on YouTube pages or shows. So I just put them in here. There's no picks for yesterday unless they come on and tell us otherwise. Other than that, you continue to do your shiznit. I'll continue to run this damn thing right into the ground.
Well, and you Woodies, you can start putting your picks in. So we're going to do, well, I guess you can't see them yet. You can pull up the Circa Millions.
Yep. If I don't spill orange Gatorade on my jersey, that's awesome.
Do it.
I just did. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Just hold the fort down for 30 seconds.
Tag, you're out. I'm in. Okay, so here's what's up. These are the Circa lines. We did this last week and we sucked. We were 1-4. So there's that. But we're going to try again this week is what we're going to do. I wonder if that go down. So these are the lines. These are the numbers you have to use. Okay. So give me your 5 best. Just put them all in the same comment box. I like Ravens, bats, bop, 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 all 5 right in one thing. And then I'm going to tally them up and we're going to see as a consensus, as the morning Woodies, what would our Circa plays be? Okay. And we literally have to do better than last week because if we don't, we're going to goose egg. And then I quit the show. Then I'm taking my toys and I'm going home.
You can't quit. You already met your maximum quitting capacity this week.
Did I? What else did I quit?
You quit Monday, I think, or Tuesday when you weren't feeling good. You quit the day Asher left his lunch in the other chick's car. I mean, I've quit 3 times today. Every time I quit, Craig Trapp just tells me no.
So, that's the problem. That's the problem with picks and parlays. They just don't let you quit. You can't just quit.
There's no quitters. Quitters are quitters. I'm not even gonna get going on this because I'm just gonna get myself in trouble. Smash the like button. Smash that like button. Smashing it. Is that the board? I had to check the date for a second. Yep, we're doing the Circa plays again. So if you guys can see those, give us 5. All in one comment. J-Rock, you had a pick over 46.5. Okay, so I'm assuming you had a pick in yesterday, right? It did cash, I'm assuming. So Air Force over 46.5. Real quick about last night.
Screw last night.
Right to Thursday Night Football. Messed up every teaser I had possible. I did. I had Steelers plus 10 and under 44. And that last little 6 points at the end screwed everything up. I was that guy. I was that guy.
I was it was like never in doubt the whole game. Steelers plus 10 and under 44. No problem. Beautiful. Is what happened then. Texans Bears 2.5.
Air Force game. Everybody likes this game. Well, some people like it over, some people like it under. Tonight for college football, I like Syracuse minus the 10. I know it's a lot of points, but or 9.5. 9.5. I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to take UTEP plus 16. I just think that's a little too much money.
I like Boise more.
I just, I don't know, it's a lot of points. And Boise's not on the road, so.
And they're traveling. There is that.
Rounds -4. Okay, good. What's up, peeps? What up, J-Cast? I got your pick already. You're on the Yankees run line. Ride or die play of the day is Altuve over 1.5. Total bases. Let's cash some tickets. Let's cash some tickets.
Rye, I just saw that you emailed or that you tweeted me, and I haven't read it yet, but I did just see that. I'm not.
I got. Hey, do we have a guest today that I was supposed to bring in?
Yeah, Scott Reichel.
Oh God, damn it, Scott Reichel.
Every Friday.
Yeah, I know. I just every Friday I'm like, hey, was I supposed to message somebody?
And then Niners Broncos is the Sunday night game. Okay. Broncos. And that is a
Scott Reichel. Here we go. Sending him a link.
I don't even have lipstick on yet. Jeez,
oh
Louise.
God. Oh my God, Allie.
Jeez, Louise. Luckily, I'm in my little screen. Okay, so you're taking those Astros Silky. I like it. I
sent Scott Reichel a link. I already have my Circa plays if you want. I would have took the Steelers last night, by the way. I would have. That would have been one of my 5. I'm not even gonna lie.
This contest, and that's why morning Woodies don't take Thursday night or Monday night games at contests. Yeah.
Last week, those were the only 2 games I won.
Nothing from me, Leonard. Nothing.
Last week, those were the only 2 games those were 2 of the 3 that I won. I'm taking Seattle on the pick'em. I'm taking the Ravens minus 2.5. I'm taking the Giants on Monday night. I don't care what she says. And I'm taking the Lions plus 6.
Okay, Lions. Okay, so 2 of yours aren't even on the board. They don't count. Okay. Pats, Chargers, Falcons.
Can I take the Lions extra times?
Sure.
All right. Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll take the Dolphins plus 5.5 instead of because I can't pick a Steeler, the Thursday night game or the Friday game. I'll take the Dolphins and
you're just all against Rye. Rye's got Pats, you've got Ravens. He's got Hawks, you've got Falcons. He does like the Lions.
Yeah, I do like the Giants. Yeah, Rye, we are against each other. I ain't gonna lie. And I kind of
Cowboys are the Monday night game, aren't they? We don't do Monday night games.
Yeah. Man, I've been taking Chiefs. I'll take Chiefs minus 5.5. I ain't scared.
I'm not afraid of those Colts at all. Silky, who are your top 5? JoJo, who are your top 5? J-Rock, how about you?
No, we didn't do a halftime show last night. By the time I figured out that we were supposed to do a halftime show, it was already halftime. So, and Tim Earl, I believe they had a birthday party. Ryan's 13th birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday to him.
Oh, I remember his birthday last year. Happy birthday, Ryan.
Yep. So they I know they did something over the weekend, but it was his actual birthday was yesterday. So Tim had to leave right after game time and do some stuff. And then Nick Earl was driving. So we didn't do one yesterday. But I'm sure Sunday or Monday night game, there'll be something in the mix.
Get out of there. Go outside.
But damn kids and their birthdays. What do you want me to tell you? Otani under 1.5 ERA. So one of my favorite plays today.
I'm going to take the Hawks. I'm going to take the Niners. I want to take my Texans, but I know that it's not the spot to do it, but I don't care. I'll take the Lions.
It's a trap.
What is?
The Lions.
Oh, it's always a trap. It's a big freaking bear trap.
It really is.
I'm going to go with the Texans. I don't know. I got to think about it. So, fade highly public games when I see line movement in your favor. Everyone's on the Ravens.
I just think at the end of the day, they're a better team.
Yeah. And aren't they coming off that like really disappointing? They led the whole game and then they blew it to the Dolphins right at the end. Is that them?
Yep.
So they kind of have to like get right. They're in a little get right spot.
They're a little get right spot. I have this put down. So, but I don't know if like, are we for sure we could do it? Because I just looked. Germany money line by itself is minus like 360.
Oh.
So
yeah.
It's a parlay gets it to minus 150. But
still, it doesn't seem like that juice would get it there.
It's because the over-under is at 1.5. So he's taking the plus money on the over 2.5, then adding it with the juice. There's some buying of some points there or something going. I know it's an alternative bet, like it's a prop bet though. So
yeah, let's just make it a regular one, Pedro. Give us one that's not as confusing, if you don't mind.
I mean, if you could like, I know it's a prop bet and stuff.
Or post it on the Woody page. Post it in the last Woody thing on the Woody page with a screenshot where we can see the juice. That would be the other one.
He did. I see it. Okay. And the juice together combined is right at minus 150. So that
okay, then let him have it. Go for it.
Okay. I just didn't know if that was like because it's not a teaser. It's not a parlay. It's not a teaser. It is a parlay, but it's a prop bet parlay. I don't know. It's like weird.
It's a correlated parlay, a money line, a side and a total.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Last night I was looking at that money, and it's always easier to look at it after the fact, kind of a thing, after you see what happened, and just kind of breaking down what that looked like. Well, let me see if I can pull it up here so you guys can see what I'm looking at. But the way I was seeing it was that are you not going to give me last night's game? Really? You don't want me to see. Huh. Yeah. It was, 54% of the money was on the Browns, but the other half, like 52 and 54, the other 54% was on the Steelers tickets, and the line moved towards the Browns from 3 to 4 to even 4.5. So they don't mind. I'm trying to think like, what is the book saying to me? They're saying, I don't mind giving you more points with the Browns, and it's increasing the amount of tickets that are coming in on the Steelers, because now the Steelers +4 and the teasers and the parlays at plus money, and they didn't mind moving it that way because the Steelers weren't expected to be the play. I don't know if I explained that right. You get what I'm saying?
I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Okay. I don't know. I like to. Oh, here's Scott Reichel right here. How you doing?
Good. How's it going? What's up?
Going here. Wait, let me put me down here.
Oh, there you go. Okay, we're picking 5 Circa plays, Scott.
Yeah, I know the drill. I was here last week. I forgot how.
Yeah, you were here last week.
You were 1-4. I statted you and Joe Madden. I believe you, but all of us sucked. Is what happened. We all sucked.
I thought I got 2, but okay.
You could have. Hold on.
I'm trying to remember. I know I definitely won in the Giants. That one I ended up winning on.
Yeah, I had Giants too.
Did I win on anything else?
I deleted these out of my phone already.
I'm trying to remember what else I even took last week. So fair enough. Okay, cool.
I could tell you. It's on the Facebook page.
I went 3-2.
Did you?
Yeah, because I'm 5-5 for the year, and I went 2-3 the week 1.
I'm trying to even remember.
I think I did yours solo. I did Scott and Joe's solo, and then I did the.
It's cool. It's cool. You don't love me.
Well, I know I lost on the Saints. I wouldn't say that was a bad beat, but that was kind of unfortunate. I had the Rams, which was a brutal beat because they were up 21 with like 8 minutes to go.
That was hard.
I had the Bengals. They lost.
I said Cowboys.
I'm trying to think of what the last play I had was.
I lost on that. I think the Bengals and the Raiders. or something like that. I know I had the Packers. I know I had the Bills.
Yeah, everyone was high on those damn Packers.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one good thing we did.
Oh, and the line. I've taken the lines every week. Just you're gonna give
Dolphins,
me. I
Lions,
didn't do
Chiefs,
it.
Raiders, Niners.
Yeah, those are my 3 wins. I
Lions.
think I lost on the.
I had the Steelers. That was my last one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did go.
Steelers.
I did go 1-4. Okay.
Steelers. Fucking Steelers.
Every game that I had was besides the Bengals one was just close. It just didn't go my way in the fourth quarter. But happens. I feel like a lot of people got killed on NFL Sunday last week.
Oh, here's Higgs Circa picks.
Oh, okay. Oh, I have the Twins too. Give me 2
No,
seconds though. My
Dolphins.
daughter's calling me for whatever reason.
Jets.
All right. So thinking about this week.
Commies.
Well, Allie, what do you have so far for this week?
Cards. I like the Niners because I'm
Okay.
excited the return of Jimmy G. I feel like that could be a spot where he does something. And also,
Are you excited?
I like
Are you excited because Jimmy G you think is good, or because you find him attractive?
neither.
Okay.
I'm not
Gucci.
excited.
Okay.
I'm not excited. I don't like Trey Lance, so I'm excited he's not here anymore, I guess.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't think he's very good, so that definitely makes sense. So looking briefly, I don't know if I'm gonna have all 5 picks right now, but I'm gonna have a couple.
No, I
I'm
need
looking
them
at
right now.
I'm looking at the Raiders.
Right now.
I know the Raiders blew a 20-point lead to Arizona, but Tennessee's on a short week.
Yeah,
I really just don't like that Tennessee team at all. And you could argue if the Raiders, let's just say, don't fumble in overtime and they end up kicking a field goal and they win, are the Raiders still favored by 2? Probably not. They're probably favored by more. I think it's an overreaction to the choke job last week. I'm not saying McDaniels is a good coach, but at least the Raiders have weapons offensively, and we saw Diggs absolutely torch the Titans' pass defense last week. Adams should do very well here. I think Carr plays well. I'll take the Raiders. I just don't think Tennessee's very good, and I think Derrick Henry might be washed. Like, I don't think he has much left in the tank. It's going to sound harsh, but when you have a lot of volume with the amount of carries he's had for the last couple of years, including some deep playoff runs, I don't think they have any weapons. I got to go with the Raiders because even though they choked last week, they still scored 20 in the first half, and they scored 3 after that. I think they'll piece it together for a full 60 here, but I think that line's a little bit low.
Nice job, J-Rock. 22-11. I was 8-5 last week with my line movement thing is what I'm tracking, 8-5. So hopefully that can improve this week. Nice razor sharp picks. Give me another one. Give me some more razor sharp picks. Jimmy G, baby. Jimmy G is better than Lance. Yeah, that's just it. So I think it's a spot for him to be like, what? I was on the bench. I'm not your starter. Okay, well, here we go. It looks a little fishy with the Broncos being favored at home, but I think I can deal with it. And I agree with what you're saying about the Raiders, Scott.
I don't like the Raiders, for the record.
Yeah,
I just don't like the Titans more. I'll fade that entire AFC South.
Yeah, and like you said, Titans on the short week, and Raiders are kind of in a spot where we're like, okay, so that first week kind of, like we did that, and then the second week, ooh, that happened, and so now could we like win a game convincingly? Could that happen?
And the Chargers, are a solid team. The Raiders turned the ball over a couple times. They had a shot to win that game. And you could make an argument that, week 1, I think they would have lost, but if they ended up doing a better job with the turnovers, really in both games, they'd probably be 2-0. So I think the Raiders are actually a decent 0-2 team. I don't think Tennessee's good, like at all, from what I've seen. I don't know what they excel in. And when Landry got injured in practice before the season, their entire pass rush basically just ended, and their secondary is not good to begin with. I just don't think they're a good team. To go through some other picks, they burned me last week, but I'm going to take them on the side. I'm going with the Saints, -2.5. I'm just in full-on Matt Rule fade mode. There's really no way around it for me. The Saints I liked for the spot and the fact that Tampa was missing everybody. And, I mean, the Saints hung around. They were performing decently. Offensively, they weren't good. But Carolina is just such a bad team. And I think Matt Rule, we can all agree, is probably going to be fired in the span of about a month or two because he's really not a good coach. But the Saints still have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. Kamara will probably be back, which should help the offense. But I'm looking at Carolina. Do they have anything that you really like about the team? Because DJ Moore I like. Mayfield's look very underwhelming. And you look at who Carolina's played and how they've looked. They lost to the Browns, and the Browns are a decent team, I guess. And then they ended up losing to the Giants. I don't think the Giants are very good, but the point is Carolina is just not a good team. The Saints at least are very solid defensively. I know Mike Evans got suspended for a game. Lattimore did not, so he should be playing this week. I'm going to go with the Saints. I think laying less than a field goal against the inferior team on paper, that's good enough for me. I'll take the Saints -2.5.
All right. I think I marked you. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I don't hate the Saints play at all. I really thought the Panthers, I thought Baker Mayfield and Christian McCaffrey might be able to do some stuff there, but at least be better. But they look horrible.
Matt Rule, I don't think is cut out for the NFL. I think he'll end up in college at some point. I'm sure there's a couple of programs that would want him in college because he was successful at Baylor, but he just hasn't made the transition. Third pick, it's going to be one of the most public plays on the board, but I got to take it. I'm going to take the Eagles -6.5 against the Commanders. I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC East. I don't think it's very close.
On the commies.
It makes sense if you want to go contrarian, especially Eagles on a short week playing one of the Monday night games and the Commanders getting 6.5 in a home division game. I just think the Eagles are a well-oiled machine right now, and I think that they're just the far more talented team. Hurts look really good in the pocket against Minnesota, and yes, I know primetime Kirk Cousins did what he normally does. That Eagles team is just really good, and they were my pick to win the division. I got money in them to win the division, and so far they've looked up to par. And the defense wasn't good in week 1, but the lines might actually be good offensively. So we're going to see what happens there. But Wentz, I expect to throw a couple interceptions. They were getting smacked by Detroit, and then Detroit kind of took its foot off the gas a little bit in the second half. I don't think the Commanders are a good football team, which isn't exactly a hot take. I'll take the Eagles. I think the line now is like 7 or 7.5.
That's what I was just looking up. What are these lines now?
I think the Eagles, they're at least 7 or 7.5. So the fact that I can get it inside of 7, I'll take, because I do think it's going to close probably closer to 7.5, etc. The Eagles, though, are healthy, so injuries aren't exactly a concern. I think Wentz might throw a couple turnovers. We'll see, throw a couple interceptions. We'll see what happens. But do you like Washington's team? Because I think they have a couple of interesting pieces. McLaurin I like. I think Dotson's a good receiver. Chase Young is still out, so the defense is still kind of a mess. Detroit torched them last week. And if they couldn't stop Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm assuming A.J. Brown's going to go for what, like 120?
Yeah. I mean, and that's not to take anything away from Amon-Ra St. Brown. That guy's out of tear.
He's great.
Yeah, but I don't know. The Eagles, I think, can do what I think they're going to be able to do what they want when they want, kind of thing, in their own little way. I don't feel like the Commanders are going to offensively be able to keep up with them. I worry about that 6.5. I mean, it's still a divisional game, but I think the Eagles. It's Eagles or nothing for me at this point.
Yeah.
Especially at that 6.5 number, because I'm looking for it right now. I see it at 6.5.
You do? Okay. I thought most books had 7 at this point.
I'm going to look it up.
It's 6.5.
Okay. Either way, I'll take that one. And I think I need 2 more picks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take the Rams -3.5 against the Cardinals. That's one of my favorite plays on the card. Cardinals, they had the miraculous win. They were on the opposite side of the Raiders' choke job. But I do wonder if the Rams, let's just say, show up for the final 8 minutes against the Falcons. They're up 21. The game suddenly became interesting. If the Rams win that one by, let's just say, 10, and let's just say the Cardinals lose to the Raiders in overtime, or even if they just fail the 2-point conversion, is there any chance the Rams are laying 3.5? No, they're probably laying 5.5 or 6.
6,
so
easy.
I think it's a steal for the Rams. I think it's a massive overreaction based on how the week 2 games ended. Plus, McVay 6-1 against Kingsbury. He owns them all the time. They played in the playoffs last year. The Rams torched them. I just think the Rams are the much better team. Yes, Stafford has interception concerns, but Hopkins is still out. Moore, I don't believe, has been practicing. So they're going to be missing 2 of their better receivers again for this week.
Yeah, he's out.
They trailed 20-0 to the Raiders at halftime. And yes, they came back, but that's still not a good starting point when you trailed 20-0 at half. I think the Rams win going away. they took their foot off the gas and the Falcons made it interesting. But when the Rams were fully engaged, they led by 21 points. So I'm going to take the Rams there. I'll back the McVay dominating Kingsbury angle, and I think they'll win that game by at least a touchdown.
I'll be honest with you. I think the Rams still looked last week. They still looked a little Super Bowl hangover type situation. I mean, they still looked a little slow, a little out the gate, kind of like they did week 1 against Buffalo. But now we're learning Buffalo is just dominating everybody that gets in their way. I do like, speaking of Buffalo, I don't hate Miami plus 5.5. For me, it's the 5 number that instantly makes me think underdog, and you're going to give me points at home against a Miami offense that looks to be just running gun, man. Just 4 verticals. They're playing Madden all the time, and Buffalo's going to do the same thing. So, but I don't know if it's necessarily a shootout. I don't know if Miami can hang with Buffalo, but I do like that game.
So initially I was leaning Bills, but they announced that they had about 3 defensive starters that were ruled out for the game, including Micah Hyde, who's one of their better safeties. So now I have no interest in Buffalo because I do think that you're going to see points in this game. I like the over. I think you'll see a lot of points, so that's kind of where I'm leaning on that game in particular. I'm 1 pick short for the 5. I'm trying to think of which underdog I want to go with. It's either going to be the Jets, as ugly as that sounds. I just don't think Cincinnati should be, I don't think they should be laying 6, though. Cincinnati laying 6 is crazy. Or I take Detroit. You know what? I'm going to take Detroit. I'm going Detroit. I'm going to take it.
Man,
Vikings
likes Detroit.
Vikings are on a short week.
The line is going down. It's a 5.5 in real life now.
Yeah,
So
but
the line is moving their way.
Vikings are on a short week. I expect Cousins to play better because it's not a Monday night game, so he might actually show up this time. But the Lions offensively are really good, and I think they can hang with Minnesota. Plus, Dalvin Cook has really done nothing this season, and I'm not sure what his story is, but it seems like besides Jefferson going nuts in week 1, has anybody else on the entire offense done anything?
Nope.
So I'll take the Lions because I do think they have offensive balance. The defense still isn't very good. I'll admit that, but I do think they can score enough to keep that game close. Minnesota's a team that I think can get the job done. I don't trust them to win it by margin, though. I think Detroit hangs around. Give me the Lions plus 6. I thought about the Jets, though, as an honorable mention.
I like
honorable mention.
Yeah.
Look,
it's hideous, because it's the Jets, but you're looking at Cincinnati and they can't block anybody.
I have better feelings about the Vikings than I do about the Bengals, I guess.
Yeah,
Like
I'm kind of just
Vikings
wondering.
at home, I like that better coming off that crappy game. In a bounce backy spot compared to the Bengals on the road. I would lean more towards the Jets, really. I'm going to change my Lions to Jets, as a matter of fact.
And it scares the ever-loving crap out of me that the Lions offense could be good, that at least one side of the ball, the offense could be good. Like, it could be legit good. And you use the word that hasn't been used in Detroit offensive history. Balanced. They have a good balance. They have a good balanced offense. Yes, they can run the ball. They have some key weapons on the outside, and they don't even have, arguably, could be their number 2, maybe number 1 wide receiver yet with Jameson Williams. When he gets healthy and midseason comes in, this offense could be crazy good. But defensively, they can't stop. They can't stop anything. They couldn't stop a high school JV team. So, they're going to have to. They, I think, understand that until their defense gets right, they're going to have to. They're going to have to just outscore everybody. Like they're just going to try and put up as many points as possible. Aiden Hutchinson did have 3 sacks in game 2 last week against a stationary quarterback. Week 1, we saw what the Lions' kryptonite is. We saw the mobile quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts did what he wanted when he wanted. Now you get what's his name? Carson Wentz from Washington. So. Yeah, now you get Carson Wentz from Washington, stationary quarterback. Well, that's Kirk Cousins is part 2 of that, just with a better arm. So he's not moving anywhere either. So
wasn't Carson Wentz the old quarterback of the Eagles?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Aren't they? And now they're playing each other for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, there was a team in between though, because he was with the
played
Colts
for
last year.
Indy
but-
last year, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think they played each other last year too. The Indy and the Eagles, maybe.
I'm trying to think if they did or not. I'm not even sure about that.
I
But
don't even know. But
I
yeah,
was torn between the two underdogs. I'll go with the Lions. I just think that offensively, they're good enough to hang around and potentially lose by like 3. The Jets, I don't know what to think about because it was a phenomenal comeback. It was miraculous. They also still trailed by 14 points to the Browns, and they let Jacoby Brissett go nuts for the entire game. And Cincinnati's offensive line is awful. So the Jets can rush the passer. We'll see what happens. But if Brissett looks that good against you, I am a little bit concerned about how Burrow might look. I just think the Lions offensively should have success against Minnesota's defense.
Morning Woodies, if you guys are just joining us, first of all, like and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. But what we're doing here is a Woody consensus here. I'll get bigger so you guys can see what's going on. Give me your 5 best plays. I'm taking tally marks on all the Woodies' 5 best plays of the Circa plays. And then you can't really see, but you get what I'm going for here. So put those 5 in so we can get a better idea of what you guys are looking for.
So just to
Scott, real quick, do you think the Bengals are broken? Or, I mean, for me, I look at this and I think, okay, no Zach Wilson, Jets are doing Jet stuff. I don't. Joe Flacco obviously he's old. The Bengals, I don't know. Like, I mean, are they broken? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think with the Bengals.
So I'm not sure if the entire team's broken. I just think it's the offensive line. Defensively, they gave up an opening drive touchdown to Cooper Rush. They went for it on 4th down in their own territory, and those plays are scripted. But you look past halftime, the Bengals gave up 3 points. It was the game-losing field goal drive. So defensively, they buckled down. It's the offensive line because they can't actually buy time for the receivers to get open downfield, and they spent a ton of money on La'el Collins and company to help the offensive line, and it's awful. It's arguably worse than it was last year. So I think the offensive line's broken, and as a result, the offense is broken because they can't block anybody. So for me, Cincinnati's a team that I don't want to there's no way I'm laying 6 in this matchup. And I said before the season started, if you had the Jets win total and you wanted to bet the over, you hope Flacco plays as much as possible because I think Flacco's actually the best quarterback on the roster.
Really?
I do. I think Flacco's better than Zach Wilson.
Mm.
I mean, I was a big Zach Wilson guy at BYU. I thought he'd be solid. Maybe it's because the Jets haven't developed him properly, which, could be the case as well. But from what I saw in both preseason and what I saw in actual action in the past couple of years, or even just in practice, Flacco, according to all reports, was the far superior quarterback in like every single eye test or metric. I think Flacco's the best quarterback on the team.
Wow,
Okay.
those are horrible words to say.
Just saying. I mean, he looked like it last week. He had 4 touchdowns, like 300 yards. But according to all the reports from beat writers, etc., Flacco's been looking really good in camp, comparatively speaking, which tells you how bad the other quarterbacks are. But I think Flacco can hang around in this game. The real question is, can the Jets generate enough pass rush? Because if Burrow buys any time in the pocket,
he's gonna
the Bengals will torch this defense.
Yeah. He's just got to just give him 1-2 extra seconds, which seems like nothing, but is an eternity back there. And I think some of those sacks, I think, aren't all the offensive line's fault. He's holding on the ball a little too long. You could tell he's rattled. I mean, and rightfully so. I mean, he's been under nothing but pressure, but I want to take the Jets there +6. I really do, but I'm scared of the Bengals.
Well, someone had said the Bengals aren't going to lose 3 in a row. They don't have to lose. I mean, they could still win this game and the Jets cover. That's the beauty of that.
Yeah, definitely true. I think the game's going to be close. It really, once again, it's going to come down to the 4th quarter. I mean, if Flacco can generate some drives, either garbage time or not, and it at least drains some clock, force the Bengals into going 75 yards on a drive for a touchdown, I'm not sure the offensive line holds up for about 6 or 7 first downs. That's kind of the problem. It's going to come down to turnovers as well. If the Bengals get a couple short fields, then of course I'm going to like their chances. But I'm just going to run through my picks one more time if I even remember what they were. I got the minus 2.5.
Wait, let me get a color. Okay,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Okay. I got the Saints minus 2.5. I have the Lions plus 6. I have the Raiders minus 2. I have the Eagles minus 6.5. And I have the Rams minus 3.5.
Okay, and Lenny, give me yours again so I can make these color coded.
I'm taking Seattle on the pick'em. I'm taking the Ravens minus 2.5. I'm taking the Lions plus 6, and well, I already had the Steelers, and the Giants, but no Monday, no Thursday game. Then I can't remember what I said I was going to take. I'll take the
Eagles?
Jet.
You weren't on the Eagles too, right?
No.
Okay.
But I kind of want to be, but I don't like that 6.5 number. I'll take the Rams. I do like that pick. And I'm going to take the Chiefs because I think the Colts are bad.
Let's talk college football real quick. Bill McDonald wants to know about Syracuse. It's 9.5. I see 59% of the cash, 63% of the tickets are on Syracuse. I'm not seeing that line move. And then the 55.5 is what it opened. The cash and tickets are on the over, but it's down to a 44. That would suggest an underplay for me. What are your thoughts on Syracuse, Virginia at Syracuse?
So Syracuse, I've watched a decent amount this year. I had money on them against UConn. They cashed for me there. Then I watched them in that crazy fourth quarter against Purdue last week. I actually like that team. I don't think they're that bad. Tucker's a very good running back. I like Schrader so far at quarterback. The defense is a little bit iffy at times. Then again, Purdue has a lot of offensive weapons, and O'Connell's a good quarterback, so he kind of threw it around the parking lot into the fourth quarter for a bunch of points. I guess the one question there is that Armstrong's a very good quarterback for Virginia. They have weapons. The offensive line's, though, is a mess. So it really comes down to if they can protect Armstrong or not, because he's a solid quarterback who could pick apart the secondary. I'm just not sure how much time he's going to have in the pocket. It's a Friday night game in Syracuse. They're in the Dome. Crowd's going to be into it. I think it's Syracuse or pass for me. I'm not going to lie, back to Virginia against Illinois, and they got absolutely smacked in that game. It didn't feel good to have that wrong side, but they barely scored. They couldn't move the ball, and they had a nice final drive, game-winning field goal at the buzzer against Old Dominion last week. Yeah. I don't think Virginia's very good. Syracuse, I'm not saying this team's going to win 8 or 9 games. They should make a bowl game. I mean, they're 3-0. But Babers is something going there. I like Schrader. I like Tucker. And I do think with the crowd behind him, I'm tempted by Syracuse because I don't think Virginia is very, very good. Rise
on the under. Yeah, I like that to go under too, just based on the lines. The
Virginia
picks
can't block anybody.
Well,
yeah. I love Syracuse. I love them at 9.5. I love them at 10. I think they're going to win this game by 2 touchdowns. I don't have an opinion necessarily on the total, but I really like what Syracuse is doing. And for me, the deciding factor here was Virginia against Old Dominion last week. I mean, Old Dominion is terrible, and Virginia barely squeaked that win out 16-14. So I don't know if they're going to be able to get much more than, say, 20 points, Virginia, if that. And I look for Syracuse to get into the 30s. So, that's kind of where I'm at with this game. I like Syracuse to just cover. That's my probably favorite college football game of tonight, is really just that 9.5 on Syracuse.
Well, remember yesterday we were talking with Jesse, and I was saying, like, sometimes it's like based on the amount of money that's being bet, if the line doesn't move or not, like with 59% of the cash on a 9.5 and that kind of stays there, that's a lot different than 72% of the cash on Air Force minus 24. And that's not moving. Like a number like 72% of the money should be moving. My whistled should be moving something, whereas, with the Browns last night, it was only 52% of the money, but that 3 went to a 4.5. So they are like having no problem taking that money. You know what I mean? That's part of what I'm trying to figure. I say, you know what I mean a whole lot, because I really don't know if you guys know what I mean, because I'm figuring it out as I go, and thinking out loud.
Because I don't know if I know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm conveying it properly, but But that's something that I've been looking out for. Is it's not that the money moves the line or doesn't. Well, it is that, but it's also how much of the money is moving the line. And I would think with 72% of the cash on Air Force that 24 would move, even though it is a key-ish number.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but
yeah.
Scott, how do you feel about that? The Boise State UTEP game.
Well, you're asking about the most exciting game on the card, right? Boise
yes,
and UTEP.
absolutely.
That one right here, sorry to finish this, but Boise State UTEP, 66% of the money is on Boise and 15.5 went to a 16.5. It moved properly, but 66% of the money moved that line. That's what it took to move it. So just keep that in mind. Okay, Scott, you go.
So Boise, first of all, I don't think is very good. I think they're a decent team in the Mountain West. They lost to Oregon State. No shame in that. Oregon State turned out to actually be a good football team. They beat New Mexico. I liked them in that game. I don't know if they covered in the end because there were a couple of point spread shenanigans in the fourth quarter. I think they covered by a hook. I think so, but they won by 17. Then they beat an FCS school by 23. The issue is offensively, I don't think they're a very good team, and it's because I'm not a Bachmeier guy. I never have been. Now, UTEP, I'm not saying is a good team, but you look at who they've played. They lost to New Mexico, so if you want to go by the same opponent theory, then Boise should crush this team. But they played North Texas, who's been mediocre at best, and they got killed by Oklahoma. They beat New Mexico State by 3, and New Mexico State's one of the worst FBS teams in the entire country. I'm really torn on this one because I feel like Boise should win and cover, but I don't like their offense enough, and especially for a total that low. I'm not sure how good I feel about laying about 16.5 points. I think I'm looking more towards a team total under for UTEP, or if I'm looking for something like that, because Boise defensively, I do think is good. UTEP only scored 10 against New Mexico. They only scored 20 against New Mexico State, and they only scored 13 against North Texas. I'm not sure if UTEP's going to move the ball that much in this game.
Yeah.
Boise's not good, though. I guess I'm leaning to the under again, based on what I just said.
Yeah.
But I don't have any strong opinions about that game because I really don't trust either team. I expect a rock fight. That's kind of what I'm expecting. I guess I'm going UTEP team total under, but I really don't feel good about it. I don't know. I can't lay 17 or 16.5 with Bachmeier. I think Bachmeier is so bad.
See, I'd like to tease that under. At a 46.5, now it's a 44.5. So we missed the best number to take it under, but in a teaser, I don't hate that.
I try to stay away from teasing college totals because college is a damn circus when it comes to a teaser.
Yeah, I kind of dig UTEP plus the points. I don't trust either team, but if you're going to give me the home team and let's say on a teaser and a 6-point teaser, you're going to give me 22 points. And UTEP at home, I'm just saying I don't think they score 20 points, but even if Boise scores 30 and the game ends up like 30-17 or something like that, which I think is right where there's 30, maybe 14 or something like that, or 31-10. I'll take that too, because I'm going to take the 22 points with UTEP. I think Boise can cover the 15, 16 points, but it's like right there. Like that line is probably right where it should be. But I don't trust either team. But I mean, the other alternative is Air Force and Nevada, and I think that game's worse than this game.
Well, Air Force is a little bit tricky because they were missing a couple of key offensive weapons last week.
They hurt me against Wyoming. It
didn't look good. I know that I was a fan of the Wyoming team total under, which looked really good until the end because Wyoming scored a touchdown with like 3 minutes to go. They went like 80 yards, which was really annoying. But Nevada's awful. They dominated Texas State, which doesn't really mean anything to me. Do I think Nevada's actually going to move the ball? I'm pretty sure that Air Force is getting a decent amount of their weapons back, which is why the spread is so high. And I feel like I kind of just like Nevada team total under because Air Force is going to have the ball for like 35 to 40 minutes. Nevada can't do anything. They can't throw the ball. They're going to try to run. Air Force's defense I still like. I still think Air Force is a pretty good defensive unit. The issue was missing so many key playmakers. I think Air Force wins probably going away, but I don't know if I could lay that. I think I'm looking at an under for a team total. I'm not sure Nevada even gets to double digits in this game. I'm going to go with the team total under for Nevada.
Yeah, I think I mean that line opened at what, 49 or something, and now it's down to 46.5, I see.
Yeah, it makes sense because Nevada wants to run the ball as well, so I don't exactly expect many big passing plays. Air Force could, because Nevada, every now and then Air Force will throw the ball 3 times a game, and there's a guy wide open by 50 yards because nobody's covering him. But I don't think Nevada's got many playmakers. They don't have much talent. That's why everyone was down on them, because their head coach left and all the players and coaching staff left with them. So I feel like Air Force will probably dominate tonight, but I'm going to go with a Nevada team total under. I don't see them moving the ball, and I don't see them possessing the ball that much. That's kind of how
I like that full game under.
Yeah.
82% on the over, and it moves down 3.5 points.
Yeah,
That's
JoJo's
really
mentioning
under.
that Air Force plays the Navy next week. It is
Yeah.
true. You can argue about a look ahead, but I really don't think it's a look ahead when you lose to Wyoming the week prior.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you're cruising along and you can circle the Navy game on the calendar because that's the rivalry game. But when
Right.
you lose your first conference game of the season and now you got to go
That's
back
bad.
out there, they're going to be motivated. I don't think they're looking at the Navy. If they beat Wyoming, they might have been looking ahead. I don't think they're looking ahead now. So if you're asking for my thoughts about the look ahead potential spot there, I'm not concerned at all. After that bad of a showing against Wyoming, you know the coaching staff is extremely focused for this game.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So-
I definitely agree with that. I do love a good Air Force Navy game. I love the service academies. You're going to get, the guru used to always say, the thing about betting on service academies, you're going to get 60 minutes of football out of them. There's no quit.
Yeah,
right.
unfortunately for them, the 60 minutes that Navy's been giving them is not worth anything because they've been terrible this year. But they have an interesting matchup this weekend against East Carolina. I know the Earl brothers will be all over East Carolina. I actually have no action.
Yeah,
on
we
that.
already did a power hour on that.
Yeah, truth is,
free
I
pick on that game.
actually don't want to lay it with East Carolina. And even though I do think they're the much better team, Navy did have a bye last week. They got killed by Memphis. I had Memphis, which worked out well for me. But the fact that you have a week off leading up to this game, I think Navy actually keeps this game close. I'm not saying they're going to win because this team is awful on paper and really just in general. But I do think the extra week off could help Navy there. Once again, I just don't want to lay roughly 3 possessions or more against a team off a bye in conference. That's a stay away for me. But I guess I'm leaning Navy. Once again, I'm not going to play it, but it's not an auto fade for me this week.
Right.
That's fair.
All right. So we've got about 9 minutes to go here. Here, I'm gonna check out the board. Any other major questions? You guys aren't going to see us until Monday. So if there's anything you need to know, ask now. We've got Scott here. Don't be texting me tomorrow asking me what my plays are. I'm telling you right now. I'm off tomorrow. Okay, so for the Woody consensus, so the green dots are Reichel, are Lenny. The blue dots are Reichel and the red ones are me. But it looks like for our group consensus, the Chiefs are a big one. The 49ers.
I don't like that.
The Lions.
I don't like that at all.
I like that. This doesn't seem right to me. I don't know why, but you're the football person. The Raiders have 5 and the Saints have 5.
So all 5 consensus picks are road favorites. What can possibly go wrong?
Great work, Woody.
No, Lions,
Sorry,
road
Lions.
dogs.
Sorry, no. The Lions were on top. That threw me off. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, my bad.
Only one of them has had line movement. Okay. Oh, actually, I think that's a 6 now. But anyway, okay. So those are the Woody consensus.
Can I ask everybody in the chat and the panel and everybody why I feel like I'm the only one talking about Seattle at home against a horrible Atlanta team?
Hey, that's my red dot right there. I'm on Seattle.
So you're on it, but I don't see a lot of Woodies betting that, and I'm curious why nobody believes in Geno Smith at home.
And there's 3 of them are on the Falcons for that matter.
Yeah.
It's not even
Why? Marcus Mariota's going to go into
side.
Seattle and beat them with what?
I get the fact that the home field is definitely huge with the 12th man there in Seattle. If you take the first half of week 1 out of the equation for Geno Smith, he's arguably been the worst quarterback in the entire league. I just want to throw it out there. He's been totally awful.
Fantasy quarterback. You watch your mouth.
If he's your fantasy quarterback, then you should just be prepared. You should just end the season. Like
She's tried like 3 times to quit fantasy football.
How many people are in your league that Geno Smith is your starting quarterback?
I'm kicking Craig Trapp's butt right now, though, because I had nausea.
I'm just saying, Geno Smith being your starting fantasy quarterback, you shouldn't say that.
Starter. He's my backup behind now Carson Wentz, because I dropped Brady for Wentz and I dropped Lawrence for Smith.
is your team in last place or something? Like
how 100%.
Okay. I'm making sure because I pieced together Wentz and Geno. I think you can get rid of Geno on your fantasy team. I'll tell you that much. I think it's a waste of space.
My other league I'm doing well in. I have Mahomes and Rodgers in my other league. That one's not doing so horrible. But for whatever reason, the Picks and Parlays league that I'm in, I just really decided to screw the pooch. I didn't draft my guys. So I'm like very much less interested in figuring that all out because I slept through the draft.
I can tell you're less interested. You got Geno Smith and Carson Wentz as your quarterbacks. That's how I know you're not interested.
I Geno Smith. Hey, I'm the plus money honey. I'm an underdog kind of gal. All right. Okay, these are our picks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm an underdog kind of gal.
I'll be honest with you. I would probably, if I was you, look at picking up a Jacoby Brissett. I mean, a better Geno.
I'm just saying, I actually kind of like Brissett. Like, I've never been a huge fan. I've never been anti. I think he's always been a mediocre game manager quarterback. He looks good. I'm going to watch him against the Jets. I'll watch him lead the game-winning drive against Carolina. I don't think he's actually that bad. But I think if you want to have a really interesting conversation, I think Brissett might be as good as Jimmy G. But that's a whole separate can of worms that I might have just opened there. I think you can have a conversation. But if you want to talk about that game in particular, I mentioned Geno Smith. Besides the first half against Denver, he's been arguably the worst quarterback in the league. He's been terrible for the last the last 6 quarters. He's been useless. I actually kind of like the Falcons. I think the Falcons this year are last year's Detroit team. They're going to finish with like 4 or 5 wins. They're not going to be good, but they're randomly going to be competitive, and they're randomly going to be in a bunch of entertaining games. I could see similarities there.
His little face was so cute. He's like,
I don't know why you're mad. Last season, we saw the record last season.
No, not mad. I'm curious. I don't see a lot of similarities between our teams at all.
Really?
Atlanta and Detroit. I really don't. I don't.
A lot of close random games late. I think they're going to be that classic bad team that randomly keeps games close, and you wonder why it's a 7-point game with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
I could see that. I mean, I understand that, like why they just keep hanging around.
So with the Rams, I mean, week 1 they should have beat the Saints. I mean, the Saints are. I don't know if the Saints are good or not. 2 potential playoff teams though. Falcons hung around. Like, I don't think the Falcons are that bad, and Mariota's looked a lot better than Geno Smith.
I mean, they're 0-2, but they're 2-0 against the spread. So, I mean, as far as betting goes, they're gods. You know, they're 2-0 against the spread, 0-2 in real life record, whatever. But you know, I mean,
the old real life record.
If you're back in Seattle, it's for the home field. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about on paper, I think Atlanta might actually be the better football team. I really don't think Seattle's good at football, like at all. Atlanta, get Pitts the ball, please. Like, try to throw it to him occasionally. But London's look good. I still like Terrell as a corner. Mariota's look pretty solid, and they still got Patterson. So I understand why it's a pick 'em. If you're taking Seattle, you're taking the home field. I just don't think Atlanta's actually that bad. That's all I'm saying. I don't think they're a good team, but I think Seattle's actually awful. And the only reason why they beat the Broncos was because of awful red zone play calling and settling for a 64-yard field goal.
Stupid.
They should have lost to Denver as well. So I think Atlanta's got life in that game. That's why it's a pick 'em. But if you're back in Seattle, I think you should probably put it with the under. If Seattle's going to win, they're still not going to score many points. I think it's going to be a lower scoring, ugly game.
So let me ask you this. I have Mahomes. I have Team State Farm, Mahomes and Rodgers. Do I start Mahomes against the Colts or do I start Rodgers against Brady? I actually put a poll on this on the Woody page if you guys want to answer it.
There is a 0% chance that you should be using Aaron Rodgers this week. 0.
Right. Okay. So that's what I was thinking. But part of me was saying, okay, but he's going against Brady, so he's going to bring it. And that Bucs defense isn't super great, is it?
Tampa's arguably the best defense in the league. arguably,
Are
so
they?
far this season.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tampa's a
good.
bunch of savages. Tampa's a
Do they
phenomenal
have
defensive
injuries
team.
though? Like Mike Evans, is that a guy? Is that a person?
He's
He's
suspended. That's on
receiver.
offense. That doesn't concern the defense at all.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you look
I'm
at
still learning.
You're looking at the Packers. They were okay offensively against the Bears. It was mostly because Aaron Jones had 100+ rushing yards. They have not thrown the ball at all. And if you look at the injury report, Lazard's injured. I think Watkins is injured. And Watson's also potentially not going to play. They might have nobody. So I actually like the under in that Rodgers-Brady game because I don't like either offense in that game.
Right.
I would not start Rodgers for the immediate future at all. They have no weapons at all. You have to use Mahomes every week.
Maybe I could drop him and get Geno Smith in my other league too.
You have to use Mahomes. It's a no-brainer. The Packers,
I've been
as
on
of
him
right
all
now,
season.
the Packers have no passing game. You have to use Mahomes. It's a no-brainer.
Okay.
You have to use Mahomes.
I will. I shall.
I haven't in our picks and parlay league. It's Patrick Mahomes, and then I'm going to start him every week until his bye week, and then I think my backup is who is my backup? Oh, Baker Mayfield.
I think
he's got a good matchup on week 9. I don't know what it is.
I got to head out. So
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do too. All right. I'll see you next Friday, Scott.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll see you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming by.
Take care.
Guys, where Scott Reichel is going right now is where you should go in just a moment. He's going to Just Parlays right here on the Max Wagers Network with Chris King. They're going to keep talking about the stuff we've been talking about, but they're going to put it in more of a parlay format for you. So head over there after us, and you can find Scott Reichel at Reichel Radio also. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications. When you ring the bell for notifications for Morningwood, it's also going to notify you when Just Parlays comes on, when Power Hour comes on at 3 p.m. Eastern, when Game Time Decision comes on at 5 p.m. Eastern, Midday Money at noon every day. So you guys definitely want to ring that bell for notifications. It is the weekend. It is time to get our football on. You need a new sports book. I got one for you. It's Caesar Sportsbook. Download that app onto your phone and use the promo code WOODFUL. Okay, if that's too weird, cool, I get it. Go to the description of the video and click on the link. For all new accounts, you're going to get up to $1,250 in a risk-free first bet, all right? So win or lose, you're going to get that money back into your account. And on top of that, you get 1,000 reward credits and 1,000 tier credits, all right? So check out the description of the video. Click on the link. Get yourself hooked up. And then if you need premium plays, some best bets for your weekend, go over to picksandparlays.net. We have tons of handicappers over there ready to sell their picks to you. Jesse Scholl, who was on yesterday. Ooh, wow. Hold on. Let me show you guys this leaderboard because we've got friends sitting at the top of it. Watch this. Watch this business over at the site. Bing, pong, pow. All right. Earl Sports Bets, we know them. They were number 1 on the site yesterday.
I heard about them.
Never heard of them. 5-0, so they're up some cash. There's Jesse Scholl. He was on our show yesterday, 2-0 yesterday, but over the last 7 days, he's 12-3. So he's up some cash. There's Dan Kaiser, the man, the myth, the legend. Ross Benjamin, 10-6. So, I mean, Craig Trapp for the whole year is number 4. And then you always want to check out who your hottest cappers are. That's over there. Jesse Scholl, he was on the show yesterday. Dan Kaiser, Ross Benjamin. We love it. We love it. Where's Cameron Ross? Cam Ross, get your stuff together. Why aren't you on the leaderboard?
Come on, Cam.
Come on, Cam. Anyway, so you go over to that site, click on one of their names, and then pop in the promo code NFL. You're going to save 20% off whatever you buy from them, whether it's a 1 game, 3 games, 1 week, 1 month, whatever it is. It's all you. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great weekend. No Woody picks, but remember, the last Woody standing starts again on Monday. You have to be on the live show to do it, to enter, and I lost track of what I was saying. And we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Good luck, unless you're against Lenny.
Peace. I can't find the outro. There it is.